Hi guys, welcome to my reading recap. The first book I read this week is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. The main characters are Rowan and Zahara. Rowan's grandfather dies, and his grandfather was a billionaire, and he left Rowan in charge of the theme park. So he said he wrote to Rowan that in order for him to get his part of the inheritance, he has to come up with a new theme for the ride. So he has to draw up a new sketch and draw up a new business proposal, but Rowan hasn't drawn anything since he was a teenager or a childhood. I believe since he was a child or a teenager, either one of those things, because of his relationship with his dad. He always said that drawing is for sissies, it's for girls, so he does not do it anymore. And the other main character we have, which is the female lead of this story, is Zahara. She works at the Dreamland. It's kind of like Disneyland theme park that Rowan owns. Well, not he owns, his grandfather owns. And she works at the beautician part of it. But her dream is to be one of the people that comes up with the ideas for the rides. So one day she gets drunk and she submits a business proposal for the ride. So she gets called into Rowan's office, and Rowan says, "You're not a beautician anymore, you're part of the creative team." But the problem with Zahara is that she cannot draw. So Rowan, Rowan gives her a number. He says, "Here, I know someone who's a good drawer, they can help you." So Zahara sends a text message to this guy. Little does she know that the person she's sending her ideas to is Rowan, but she doesn't know that. So it's their romance in between Rowan and Zahara. It's a workplace romance, boss, employee, rich, poor. It's really funny. I think you should read it, because the banter in it is funny. And you have to read it to find out how they resolve the conflict. I'm not gonna spoil that part. And it's very interesting. It's really funny. The second book I read is Maggie Cole. The title is Ruthless Stranger. It's about this guy, Maxim, who's part of the mafia, but he had to go to Vegas for his brother's wedding, and he wanted to go blow off some steam because he's an on again off again relationship with this girl who doesn't appreciate him, and so he overhears this group of girls that who are trying to set up their friend Aspen because she just got out of a divorce from her terrible husband who didn't appreciate her, and Maxim is like, great, this can be my one night stand, I never have to see her again. So they do spend one night together. It gets steamy, and they leave. But little did they know, they see each other again at work, and he's like, and she knows it's him because she says, oh, I remember the voice, it's you, cause she didn't see him, she doesn't know what he looks like because she was blindfolded, but she's like, I remember you, I remember your voice. And then, so, they start a relationship, but Maxim is, I hope I'm saying his name right, I probably butchered it, but he's part of the mafia, so he doesn't want to put her in danger. So, the story is about their romance. It's I think you should read it. It's by Maggie Cole. Her New York, her New York just came out. I gotta read that one. Her mafia romance series. Mafia Wars. It's called Mafia Wars. So yeah, you should read that. If you like mafia and dark romance, you should read that. The next book I read, well, it's actually a duet. It's called The Kingmaker. Kingmaker is the name of the book, but the name of the duet is All the King's Men by Kennedy Ryan. The guy's name is Maxim, and the girl who's Native American, I think her name is Lennox. They meet when his dad is trying to put a pipeline in the Native American land that she's close to, and she's trying to stop it. And so they do stop it, but they get thrown in like the sheriff jail cell. So he's like, how old are you? And she's like 17, and the Maxim was like, oh no, she's 17, I'm like in college. So he's like, oh well, that I gotta stay away from you. And then they meet again. They meet again 3 years later. This book duet takes place over time, so They meet 3 years later in a pub in Amsterdam, and they get into a relationship for 1 week, a romantic relationship. It gets steamy between them. But the problem is she still doesn't know who Maxim's father is, because he never gave her his full name, so that's the problem, and you have to read the book to see how they work out their issues. But it's very good. I would highly recommend it. Thank you for listening to my weekly recap. I hope you like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thank you.